Good morning, airplanes and let's try that again. Good morning, airplanes and reindeer rains. I got a good feeling this one's gonna encourage somebody. Hallelujah! Hey everybody, my name is John and welcome to ADITW, A Day in the Word, the internet's favorite Bible study. Time for Nehemiah chapter 7, Seventh Heaven. Anybody remember that show? That was like the original Preacher's Daughters.
This season on Preacher's Daughters.
But today I want to challenge you all. You ready for a challenge? I want you to read the entire chapter for me. But here's the catch. I want you to read it aloud. Preferably very loudly, in public, where you'll easily be embarrassed. So please, would you read for me Nehemiah chapter 7, verses 1 through 73 out loud? How'd that go for you? Just curious, how did you pronounce this name? Shapira. Unfortunately, today's chapter is not nearly as entertaining as a season finale of Seventh Heaven. However, there are a few very big, very important things that we can learn from it. So please, dive in with me, people. The first thing I want us to take note of is that the wall is finished. Nehemiah has completed the task that he set out to do. And now he's free to go back to cupbearing, chilling with the king, right? And yet at the beginning of this chapter, we see that Nehemiah has yet another job to do. Nehemiah's project was to build a wall, but now he has to protect it. He needs to appoint leaders and rebuild the homes that lie within the wall. You see, just because your project is done doesn't mean your purpose is fulfilled. Just because you went on that missions trip doesn't mean you stop serving people once you get home. Just because you got married doesn't mean that you stop building a relationship. Just because you read through the Bible once doesn't mean you stop studying and praying and applying scripture to your life. The mission that God has placed on your life, there's a good chance that that overall mission is made up of a lot of little projects. And just because you complete one of those projects does not mean that you stop pursuing your purpose. There is always more work to do. I told y'all this was gonna be good. But what about the genealogy, John? So boring. So many names that I don't even know how to pronounce. I read it out loud like you said, and people, stared at me. Yes, this genealogy can be very, very dry. But whenever we find a genealogy or any type of list in Scripture, we need to pay attention because there is always a reason or several reasons why it would be included. And what really popped out to me here was when I started to notice how specific this genealogy is. It counts every single person, both male and female, which was actually very rare in biblical times. And not only was there a specific account of every noble and priest and leader, but every servant and musician as well. God didn't just want to know about the people in power, but he said, count the second-class citizens, those who the world has discarded. I want to know about the unseen people. To me, this genealogy in its specificity expresses just how much each and every person matters to God. So much. To God, the people of Israel were not just a large group of 42,000, but they were 42,360 individual, loved and cared for sons and daughters of the King. And we can look around and we can see all of the people in the world and all of the terrible problems and issues that are going on. And it can be easy to think that God could somehow lose us in the crowd. But we must remember in those times that we worship a God who cares for each blade of grass and flower in the fields. His eye is on the sparrow. Jesus used these metaphors to communicate to us just how much God cares about each and every person. So much. When God looks at us, he doesn't just see a giant group of people, but he sees each and every one of us individually. He sees each and every one of us as important. He sees each and every one of us as loved. What this seemingly boring chapter can remind us is that whether you are important or unimportant, every person matters to God. Thank you all for watching another episode of ADITW. I am so excited that you decided to tune in today. Real quick reminder, next week we're doing a Q&A episode, so make sure to comment down below and let me know what are your questions that you want me to answer on this book. It is a Bible-only Q&A, so ask questions regarding the Bible. Also, folks, my Chicago show is next week. This is your last chance to get tickets. The show is coming up. I've been working really hard on it. I'm really excited to share it with you all. If you're in the Chicagoland area, or do me a favor, if you know anyone in the Chicagoland area, send them a link to this video, or just send the link that's in the description to tickets. Send it to them. I promise you, it will bless them, or at least it will entertain them. I would really love to see each and every one of you there. Just click the link down below for your tickets. That's all I have for you. I love you all. I'll see you next week. Keep being awesome.